877-616-2396. Bobby?
Yeah, I got a couple of comments on Facebook. I want to thank Autumn Craig. She's thanking Rick for the teaching of the Constitution.
Thanks, Autumn.
She steered many college students to your website to encourage them to build their biblical citizenship.
Awesome.
And Dylan McDonald actually donated yesterday during this core hour and says the Lord has continued to bless him. This organization has blessed him as well. So it was an easy decision.
That's great.
That's awesome.
You know,
Well,
I think, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Bobby, see if you can find something good about me. You know, Walker. I liked Walker's show the other day.
I'm not sure I get that enough time.
Like 10 in a row positive about Rob and me and nothing about
Here,
I've only got 3 minutes to
I'll log in. I'll log in and comment on the page.
He's texting Wesley right now. Saying, hey, would you send him? No, I was thinking about
Marty says he's going to put a comment in.
Yeah, thanks, Marty. But do it in an alias, like John or something.
I was thinking about what Rob was saying earlier, and all those folks out there that listen and maybe haven't given yet. We're so used to receiving and not giving, right? Whether it's media, radio, whatever.
We're a receiving culture.
Yeah, and so you're used to it being there, and we don't realize, hey, it's those donations that make that possible. And it's so cool to be on the giving side of that as well. And you mentioned it earlier, wherever your treasure is, your heart's going to be there. And so, man, just challenging everybody listening right now. Switch from being just a receiver and give today as well. And it'll make the receiving all the better and sweeter and be that cheerful giver.
Yeah, and earlier we were talking about, diversifying our investments, if you will, and diversification from a financial standpoint. But on a content standpoint, Rob, I mean, AFR is very diverse as far as the type of content we're offering. I mean, your show's a financial show mostly. Rick's over here talking about the today's issues is hitting the news issues of the day. We've got a newscast. We've got Bible teaching in the evening. We've got parenting shows as well. I mean, we're offering a full range of biblical worldview-centered topics from all different topics that are hitting these issues head-on.
Yeah, and that's necessary, right? So if we're going to be fully formed and mature as believers, shaped by a biblical worldview, impacting our culture and our families and our churches and in the marketplace and showing up at the voting booth, I mean, whatever it is, we're going to need that equipment. Where do we get that? And to your point, Rick, I mean, often we're used to subscribing to these media streams that are coming at us, bringing oftentimes objectionable material, and you're not paying anything for AFR, but it's not going to happen without you, so we need your support.
That's right. Listener supported. That's what we are. Listener supported broadcast ministry of American Family Association. We need you to be a partner with American Family Radio and help us keep everything going strong, all the broadcasts going strong, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. We don't take a day off. Our team behind the scenes, they do not take a day off. Zero downtime is our goal, and that's what we uphold each year on AFR. 877-616-2396, 877-616-2396, or AFR.net. Go over to AFR.net, donate. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
In honor of Brother Don and Linda Wildman, it's Founders Day on AFR.
I've got 3 favorite memories of Brother Don. One is as the man he was with the humility of which he served the Lord. The other was Brother Don the businessman. And then lastly, Brother Don the minister. When I think of Brother Don, and several days after I was hired to a full-time position, I asked Brother Don, we were in the hallway, and I said, how do you prefer to be addressed? Because I'd heard folks call him Mr. Wildman, Reverend Wildman, Dr. Wildman. And so I just said, what should I call you? And he said, just call me Don. That comes because of the humility that he served with. And Brother Don never thought that he was better than anyone else. And he always took time to talk to folks. And so that was one of the things that when I first started, of course, I immediately said I couldn't do that, but I would call him Brother Don, because that's what you called elders in church. So why not a man who was pursuing God's call on him? The second, like I said, is Brother Don the businessman. Brother Don was the guy who would go around the building turning off lights at 5 o'clock. He was the one who would call me when I worked evenings and reminded me to open cabinet doors so that He was the one who would come in on Monday mornings with a notebook paper folded into squares with notes written in red because he had heard something that he didn't want to forget about that needed adjustment. And so it was really kind of neat to see the way that he did that and the example that he presented with it. And then lastly was Brother Don the minister. He had enormous amounts of demands on his time, but he always took time for an individual. And he did that for me and my family. We've been here a couple of years and ran into some financial troubles with my family. And so AFA had allowed me to do a couple of small loans and pay them back. And then one day, Brother Don asked me to come into his office. And of course, I thought, this is it. He's going to let me go because I'm more trouble than I'm worth. I was wrong. Because instead of firing me, Brother Don invested his time in me. He asked me to do something to help focus on how we were using our money. There was never any judgment. He just said, write everything down. And then for a couple of months, I'd come into his office on Monday morning, and we'd talk about what we had spent and how we had spent it on. Again, there was no judgment. He was just helping me focus on how I could do better. Do I believe in what AFA is doing today? Absolutely. Because I know the mission continues, trying to help families do better.
Brother Don has been standing in the gap for families, and Linda has been standing behind him since the inception of this ministry more than 40 years ago. We praise the Lord for our founders' obedient service, and we invite you to make a gift in their honor during Share-a-thon on AFR.
My name is Joe Watson in Carterville, Illinois, and I'd just like to say thank you during all this time of upheaval when there's so many lies floating through the airwaves and all over the place, that your voice of truth and the Spirit of God has really impacted my life. I've been through open heart surgery, fractured my back in 2 places, and God has healed it all. And I just want to give Him the glory and say thank you so much. Keep up the good work. God bless.
God continues to...
和人君写真家になってるよね今。和人君写真家、スチールの
やってんの？
やってるよ。スポーツサッカーのチームの写真家だよ。でも写真家だけどまだ独身だよね。両足あれで肩杖ついて歩いてるよ。事故です。車の事故でさ、足が動かないんだよ。車椅子だったけど今杖ついてるけどね、2つね。久光くんも独身だよ。久光くんみんな独身だけどね。久光くんは東大の学生のさ塾講師してるよ。
Standing by, and I'm just kind of peeking into the room here, and yeah, there's a few on the phone, but a few I think are just twiddling their
I know.
phones.
I want to see them. You talk about real-time results, folks. You can be a part of real-time results here. We've got at least 3 people that are doing small talk, not answering a phone in Share-a-thon Central. I want to watch them turn around and have to answer the phone, and then I want to watch Jonathan, our director of radio, have to call in more people because we got the phones full. And you can help participate in this real-time results. 877-616-2396, 877-616-2396, AFR.net. Rick, we've got a total over the last day and a half, 10,000 960 donations. That equals
That's great.
10,000 plus families, Rick,
That's
that
wonderful.
believe in our work.
Man, and that just tells you the depth of the reach across the country and the breadth. I see we make it difficult on the call. The people that are answering the phones right now, since it's Founders Day, if you're listening right now and you haven't donated, call in right now and give $17.76. Just make it fun.
The year of the founding.
Just make it difficult on the people taking the call. They got
Or $1,776.
Yeah, that's right. Or
would
$1,700.
work, too.
That's a good
That's
point,
exactly
Rob.
right.
I like the way you think.
That's a very good point. Yes. So there you go, folks. Founders Day, 1776.
There you go. AFR.net is the URL. You can do it there as well. It takes you just a couple minutes. AFR.net or call 877-616-2396. 877-616-2396. We are still continuing strong 40 years later, continuing the work of my grandfather, Don Wildman. And we've actually got, speaking of, products and resources that you as the supporters get to take advantage of each year. We've got a documentary that we're producing, planning to release towards the end of this year, outlining the life and legacy of my grandfather. The full documentary is focused on the legacy and the life of my grandfather, Don Wildman, and it covers 30 plus interviews with individuals all around the nation that were impacted and played a role in what my grandfather did, including the founding of American Family Radio. You can call in and be a part of that. 877-616-2396. AFR.net is that URL.
I was going to say about, earlier we were talking about just the investment, the good stewardship of our dollars. One of the things we didn't mention is just kind of how you spend your money, organizations that you can spend your money with, because this was something your dad really pioneered in many ways, even with the Christmas naughty and nice stuff and everything else, just choosing companies wisely that you spend your money with. It made me a lot more cognizant, just bringing attention to those things. But it's the same way with your donation dollars, right? We all have a certain amount of money, hopefully, that we're giving to some charitable organization, certainly to our local church for sure, investing there. But on top of that, the church has a lot of different hands and feet, and mostly the core church these days does not do all of the things in ministry that they probably should be doing. But then you have parent church ministries like American Family Association that is very much a ministry and an opportunity to give. So you're quite literally investing your dollars wisely, spending your donation dollars wisely when you give today. 877-616-2396, 877-616-2396. And it's not just radio that you're donating for. It's all the different ministries you don't even hear about a lot that the Wildman family and American Family help seed new ministries sometimes that need help getting off the ground and getting started. Or ministries like Patriot Academy. We've been around 23 years. When we have a need or we have a new thing going on, I can pick up the phone and call Walker and say, hey, man, can you guys help us with that? And they always do. And that's because of you that are listening right now, because you donate. It allows all these different ministries that are involved in, they're involved in media, they're involved in politics, they're involved in churches, they're involved in meeting the needs of the hungry and the homeless and all of these different things. When you donate today, it's not just so we can smack our gums on radio and jaw all day. It's so that we can actually touch people's lives.
Yeah, and Rob, it's one thing I've been kind of convicted of the last few years is that we need to have the body of Christ in America, and especially these ministries around the nation. We need to have a team mentality. It's easy to let our flesh take over, and we get a little bit turfy and territorial. And no, I don't want Rick on my network because he's got his own ministry and he's doing something similar. But we can't be like that if we want to succeed from an eternal and ministry standpoint and a mission standpoint. We've really got to view this whole effort to reclaim and teach biblical truth in America as a team effort. We've all got our own part.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's the story, as you know, Walker, of the partnership between Faith and Finance and American Family Radio. AFR says, listen, we need to equip, alongside all these other topics, God's people to handle their finances from a biblical worldview, to steward that money well. And let's partner with Faith and Finance, who's got a program. We've got a platform and a broadcast ministry, and let's work together. And, that doesn't always happen. Yeah. It should, but it doesn't. And yet it does here, because we know the prize is ultimately God's people being equipped fully to stand before Him and hear, "Well done, good and faithful servant," and be active members in their churches and their community, and certainly handling their resources well. So that's what you're giving to when you give to American Family Radio and the American Family Association. The question is, what is your part? And then respond. 877-616-2396, or if it's easier for you, just click in, perhaps on your smartphone right now, afr.net.
Yeah, we've got Martha from Water Valley, Mississippi, Dot from Taylorsville, North Carolina, Sarah from Bella Vista, Arkansas, and kudos to James in Del Rio, Texas, giving Rick a little shout out there.
And Linda in Montgomery, Texas. I'm just going to go down and read all the Texas.
Yeah, you
Linda,
you filtered
Linda in China Spring, Texas.
You filtered.
We got Barbara in Conroe, Texas. We got Terrence in Georgetown, Texas. Okay, there's other people.
I know what you did.
Yeah.
You filtered by Texas
That's
only.
it. It's all Texas now.
A little bit of bias there built in. That's okay, though. Just like big tech, a little bias here and there.
That's right.
Hey, Bobby, speaking of a little bias, you had a little something for me over there?
I do. I filter Facebook, as a matter of fact. Strictly on Walker's commentaries. And
Everything pro Walker.
my sweet bride has said Walker does a great job, ... every day.
That's good stuff.
And then we heard from this huge conglomerate, MTS Creative Services. All the hosts did such a good job today, but especially Walker.
So I didn't pay Denise for that compliment, and hers is the most important, but I did pay Marty. I did pay Marty for that comment. No, appreciate that, Bobby. Appreciate you coming in for the save there.
Hey, I know we said we probably weren't going to bring attention to this, but hats off to EW. We got totally demolished in a good way.
Yeah.
Really good way. Yesterday we were, what's that? Pride comes before the fall, right?
Yeah,
Walker? I mean, we just have to
definitely
do our make. We got to just go ahead and do it. We got to admit,
Yeah.
we got demolished.
We did.
Yesterday we won.
You may provide some numbers on this?
Yeah.
Rob, this is
We
crazy.
were so proud of the numbers we had yesterday.
I know.
So proud of
Too
it.
proud.
Yep, too proud.
Gotta bring it down,
Yep.
Rick. Hey, seriously, E.W. Jackson last hour, and Fred Jackson, by the way, and no, they're not related. At the 12 p.m. hour, 836 calls.
Wow, it's
totaling
unbelievable.
$95,000. Rob, that may be a Share-a-thon history marker.
That's
I've
amazing.
seen 400 and 500 calls an hour. I've never seen 900 calls
Well,
an
we're
hour.
giving a duffel bag away. I'm just wondering what they were giving away. What are they giving back for
A
us?
timeshare.
Exactly.
They were giving away a timeshare or some kind of gold coin or something.
You've still got 6 minutes to help us save face, folks. So
Yeah.
there's still an opportunity.
Yeah, if
Can
there's
we at
some,
least get to like 25% of what they did or
yeah, look,
something?
hey, there may be somebody out there that's got $50,000.
Go for it,
Seriously,
folks.
that's got $75,000. Maybe they're, extremely blessed and they're in a position to donate. There are people out there like that can do it. And so if you want to be that person to help us get over the finish line and really perform a miracle here, you can call 877-616-2396, 877-616-2396, afr.net, afr.net. Well, this is the proof, guys, that this is a team effort.
Yeah, amen.
Truly is a team effort.
And we talked about the people that had not ever given and been listening for a long time, and maybe today was their first time to give. Shout out to those who have been giving regularly for years and years. Some folks they stick with you over the decades sometimes.
Yeah,
and so
that
to you
adds
folks
up.
out there, thank you for that. Every month, or even if you're doing it once a year, you've been faithful, and we appreciate you very much.
Yeah, for sure. We've got over 10,000 Great Commission partners. Those are 10,000 people who've said, look, I'll donate 15, 20, 30 bucks a month to the support, to the work of American Family Radio. So we need to add to that. If you want to become a Great Commission partner, donate monthly, go ahead and call 877-616-2396, 877-616-2396, afr.net. Click the monthly donation tab, and you can become a Great Commission partner. Donate $30 or more a month. We'll send you the duffel bag and this Impact Series, The Battle in Loudoun County.
Yeah, that's right. And this is really important work, folks. So as Rick said, from the bottom of our hearts, we're incredibly grateful for your support. It's meaningful. It's changing lives. We're going to exercise incredible stewardship over this money, and that's going all the way back to Don Wildman. The legacy that is American Family Association continues to this day. ECFA endorsed, and with complete transparency and great stewardship, we're going to take your funds and use them for the advancement of the gospel. So thank you.
I'm sorry, Walker.
No, you got
I was just going to say, no more important time than now, too, man.
That's
I mean,
right.
this is we're at an inflection point in America's history. We're at a point where we're teetering between liberty and tyranny. You know, we can fall either way, and I don't know what God's got in store, but I know we've got a duty and responsibility to do our best to push it back to liberty and not let it fall into tyranny. And so everything that AFR is doing, everything that American Family Association is doing, is part of that kind of shoulder pushing in to get the culture going back in the right direction. So your investment right now is maybe, you know, I don't want to be theatrical about it, but more important than ever. I mean, I know in my lifetime I haven't seen the culture in such despair or as such risk. There's nothing new under the sun. I'm not trying to overblow it, but we all know there are real issues right now with the state of affairs in our country and the lack of morality in our country. And so, just as Rob was talking about earlier, I mean, I'm teaching a biblical worldview about everything in our life, how we spend our money, how we raise our kids, how we take care of our property. All of that has never been more important. We've got a big job to do, and this is going to be a generational fight. This is not going to happen overnight. We're not going to change this in one day or 1 week or a year. And so these donations that you're giving today, that's an investment that we will then turn around and use for years and years to come to turn the culture around. So it's just a really important time to give.
Yeah, and there's a saying out there, I'm not sure who to attribute it to, but it basically says, you know, in times of peace, prepare for war. In times of war, prepare for peace. And in a spiritual sense, that's what we're doing here. I mean, we're in a battle. There's no doubt about it. We're in a spiritual battle in this nation. Around the country, our families are in spiritual battles each and every day. And we look at statistics and we look at reports and surveys and we see a consistent drift in the wrong direction towards ungodliness. But folks, I can assure you, if we will continue to labor and give it all we have and petition the Lord to have favor on our nation and give our nation a spiritual reprieve, we could possibly in our lifetime in the next 20, 30 years begin to see this drift go back in the other direction. I mean, we could begin seeing reports and surveys of people valuing family, valuing biblical stewardship, valuing hard work, you know, valuing multiple children, not just having 1 or 2 children, but hey, let's have 4, 5, 6 children. All these things could begin to be a dominant value in America if we continue to labor. So we've got to be faithful. We got to fight, and we got to fight for our nation and for our children. And you know one thing, guys, when I get to the end of my life on this earth, whenever that time may be, I don't want there to be any question, any doubt about did I do everything that I could to ensure that my children and grandchildren have a good, valuable, prosperous, liberty-loving nation to grow up in.
That's right. Amen. You know, Benjamin Rush said to spend and be spent. And that's literally what we're doing. And a lot of people in America have had enough of the quail. They've eaten and eaten and eaten. And they're saying there's got to be a better way. They're looking for answers like we've got. You talked about earlier having an outlet that we can control and the left can't cancel. The left controls so many institutions in America, not this one, not American Family Radio.